Welcome to episode 2 of 0.5%. Before we get started, there's two things I wanted to follow up on from episode 1. First is terminology. We were discussing float in regards to buying a larger and smaller quantity of shares. It might get more difficult depending on the number of outstanding shares, but you can read here, pause, or look up more information. And the second one was the pattern day trading rule. I pulled this off of Robinhood. You can look up more there in their terms. And thank you. Let's get started. All right, before we jump into the trades that I made on March 6th, I'm just going to recap the plan quickly because you'll notice when we start discussing those trades that they do not align with the plan. I decided to do this after jumping back into trading for a couple days, 2 days, maybe 1.5 days. But so just a reminder, you'll see similarities to the plan in these trades we're about to discuss because it's just naturally my trading style. And I had mentioned in episode 1 that it might be difficult to review the trades because I didn't write down times, but I went into the Robinhood app. You can go into your history and you can see when orders were filled. And I kind of wish I didn't because day one back into trading was a little embarrassing, pretty amateur hour. But yeah, so let's go to our tracker here, and I'll be jumping back and forth with screens. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to overlay everything because I'd like to be able to look at this table while looking at the charts. I might take a screenshot of it and just put it in the corner. So this first table here are the trades that I actually made on March 6th with my real money, and I can show you the receipts. So the first one that I jumped into was Baba. The ticker Baba is for the company Alibaba. It's a similar company to Amazon in China. I've invested in Baba before, and during the whole COVID pump, it dropped so much. I had heard about Alibaba before. I thought the fundamentals of it were solid. I mean, this goes way back to when Jack Ma, the owner of the company, had gone missing, and the government were looking for him, and the stock was going all over the place. And at one point, I had gotten so deep into it. I think I bought in like $20,000, and I had to sit on it since like the end of COVID. So I don't know when was COVID, like 2020. And I sold out of that position for a gain of $100 on 20,000 over 5 years now. I made a gain of, I think, $118. It had finally started to come back up, and since then, I forget what my average cost was or I guess I can look. Maybe story for a different day. But I was so happy to get out of that position because then they gave me the capital that I needed to start this day trading. And I didn't just pull out $20,000 or $20,100. I had been selling out of it, so I've been taking some losses, and some more severe than others. Like as it was slowly coming back up, I need money for this or that, and I just took a loss for however much money I needed to pull out. But yeah, like the 3,000 I'm trading with now, if I'm not mistaken, is all from the last of Alibaba that I had. And in the last couple of weeks, Baba's been pretty volatile. A friend of mine that started trading with me back in COVID days was also into Baba, but he did it right. He caught it at the bottom, and I think he went up like 120% over like 5 years. He did really well on it. He called me like a week or so ago, and he's like, "Hey, are you jumping back in and out of Baba?" And I was like, "I just got out, but I might try to trade it." So there's my first trade here, and sure enough, after not trading for like 4 years, I didn't do so well, and it's very embarrassing once we start looking at the chart. You'll see the number of shares that I purchased here was 8. I did not buy all 8 of these shares at one time. I bought at a bad time. I bought at a worse time. Bought at an even worse time. And then I averaged out at an okay time, luckily. And you'll see that it just barely came back to the price that I averaged down to. So this will be a fun one to look at. It's embarrassing, but there's a decent amount of details that will be fun to discuss. So we can jump into that now. All right, this is Baba on. Let me zoom out a little bit just to make sure. Yep, there we go. So our cursor down here at the bottom, you'll see the date. It's March 6th, and then we see the times. All of these arrows that you see here at the bottom are times that I bought into my position. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means some of these I bought 1 share, some of these I bought 2 shares. I'll think about it, and maybe I'll post my shares above me and how much I bought. Or I'm going to go over it now, so maybe that's not necessary. But anyways, so jumping back into trading for the first time, I wanted to get into Baba because I was familiar with the position. And this is another thing I want to discuss too. One kind of cover your ass thing you can do when you're jumping into learning how to day trade is day trade companies that you still have faith, like long-term belief that they're a good company, they're gonna go up. So if you're trading with money that you truly can afford to trade with, the saying behind it is trade with money you're willing to lose, because it's likely going to happen. There's also a saying, you don't lose unless you sell. So worst comes to worst, if you're trading companies that are good companies and you messed up a trade, hopefully a couple days go by, or in the case like me with Baba, that's a perfect example. I put $20,000 in it, way down, but at the time I had a lot more expendable cash, and I just sat it out. I knew Baba was a good company and it was going to come back. That's why I wanted to trade it now. I'm going to be keeping my eye on it and see if I can get my revenge for all that I lost. But not necessary. Once you get good at trading, you can work anything. But that is kind of a control to hopefully someday down the road close out on a gain. All right, so jumping back into this, let's see. I'm gonna try to think what I was thinking about during these trades. I think I looked at it. Let's look at it long term first. So this is where the day opened. There was some pre-trading hours going on. It had jumped up, kind of cooled off, and then in the morning we had another jump. If there's a lot going on in this chart, so I'm gonna quickly go over a couple things, but I'll do another video and in the description, I will put links to people that I learned this stuff from. I think there's probably some things I'm going to say that I think I know and aren't true. There's going to be some things I say that I know are true, but I don't realize I said it so nonchalant, but it might be something that's not common knowledge. So yeah, I'm gonna touch base on a couple things real quick. I kind of jumped into this fast. So what are we looking at here? Let me turn some of these off. Delete. So we know what chart we're looking at, know what indicators we're looking at. I want to start from scratch, and we'll even put this on a line. All right, and truthfully, also amateur hour. I've been trading watching the line. I actually trade on Robinhood. That's why I posted the Robinhood rule, or I guess it's a general rule, but Robinhood's spelled out pattern day trading rule. So what we're looking at here, this is the Alibaba. I should have started here. Back up a minute. So this is the Alibaba stock, and you'll see here at the bottom we have the time of day. You'll see here on the right we have the price. There's different ranges. You can set the scale. Where's my cursor? Down here at the bottom, we're looking at day right now, and on a 1 minute scale. So you'll notice at the bottom we have 10 to 11 here, but if we zoom in, you will get down to the minute. When the stock opens, let's say it's 9:50. The ticker will stop here. Another minute goes by. You'll get this next section of the line. There's many different ways to look at the chart. Most traders, I believe, use candlesticks. These are a little bit more technical, but they provide a lot more information. I might use this to explain the prices that I get, because if you look at the line, for example, this peak here, it's telling me that at that moment it was $143.03. But if we look at the candlestick, is it this one? 143.03. Yeah, you'll see during that minute the price ranged this entire length of the green line and the body in the middle of the green line. So, for example, if I bought during this minute, it's possible I could have paid 143.01. It's also possible I could have paid 142.6. The line, I think it's the close. Where did it close at? Yeah. So the point there is where what it closed at for that minute. And all right, so I'm gonna pretend like I just came into Alibaba for the first time. These arrows aren't here. These lines aren't here, but I'm gonna keep them for now because I want to show you something with those later, and I don't want to place them again. I'll show you how I placed them though. All right, so I'm looking at Alibaba. I'm okay with working the line right now. I need some indicators to help me decide when to buy, when to sell. So over here on the left hand side, oh man, I'm all over the place with this video. Again, back it up. How am I even looking at this chart? This is Yahoo Finance. It's free. Let me see if I can add a tab. So if I go to Yahoo Finance, boom, it's here. I type in Baba. That's how I get there. But how I get to the big chart